Ever feel like, the world's always telling you to buy, to chase all the shiny objects?
Yeah.
We're diving into someone who saw that firsthand today, Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
So you've been digging into his meditations, right?
Yeah. Specifically book 9, sections 34 through 39.
Okay, so that's all about like mortality, right? And existence. Yeah. And dealing with negativity. Heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's really, it's kind of like we get this, fascinating glimpse into the mind of an emperor,
right,
wrestling with these like timeless, these like big questions.
Yeah.
And what's really striking is just how relatable his struggles are.
Yeah.
Even across, centuries.
Totally. And he really doesn't like sugarcoat things. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
Like he compares gold and silver, I'm quoting here, to gross feces of the earth.
Wow.
That is a bold statement even today, especially coming from like a Roman emperor. I mean, this is someone with like, immense wealth and power.
Oh, yeah. At his fingertips.
So what's going on there?
Well, I think it really illustrates the Stoic philosophy that he followed. This idea of detaching from the material world. Essentially, Stoicism kind of argues that virtue is the sole good.
Okay.
Whereas external factors, they're ultimately, beyond our control.
Okay, so he's not saying that wealth is like bad.
Right.
But he's saying it's like...
It's temporary.
Yeah.
Just like everything else.
So he's like challenging us to rethink like what we place value on, right?
Yeah. If an emperor, right?
Yeah.
Views these riches as fleeting.
Right.
What does that say about their true importance?
It really makes you think, right?
Yeah.
And he gets even like more intense, I think.
Oh, yeah.
When he describes the human body as a mere exhalation of blood.
Wow, that's vivid.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
What's he trying to say there?
He uses these really stark images to emphasize just how fragile our physical existence actually is. And it's, it's a little unsettling.
Yeah.
But it definitely serves a purpose.
Yeah.
Because by reminding us of our mortality, he's encouraging us to focus on what we can control.
Okay.
Our thoughts, our actions.
So it's about shifting our focus from like the external to the internal, kind of?
Exactly.
Okay. But then how does he suggest that we deal with all the negativity that,
right,
life throws our way? Because it's easy to say like, don't worry, be happy.
Right.
But it's not that easy to actually do.
You're absolutely right. It's not about just ignoring life's challenges. Like, Aurelius, he directly addresses this idea by asking, like, why do we complain?
Right.
Why do we get caught up in all this negativity? And then he argues that whether we live for 3 years or 300, it's pretty insignificant.
Oh, wow.
In the grand scheme of the cosmos.
Okay, so he's saying it's about like acceptance.
Exactly. It's about accepting what we can't control. He's highlighting that Stoic idea of recognizing that the universe is indifferent.
Right.
And it's about, focusing on living in accordance with nature, which for humans means virtue and reason.
Okay.
But it's not passive resignation.
Right.
It's about actively choosing where we direct our energy.
Okay, so that makes sense. And then this also kind of ties into that really powerful image he uses towards the end, where he talks about, the rational part of ourselves.
Right.
Asking if it voids excrements like the body. What's he getting at there?
Well, it's a very, striking way to kind of illustrate this Stoic belief in a rational part of the soul.
Okay.
He's contrasting, our physical functions, right?
Right.
With our capacity for reason.
Right.
And he's suggesting that our true essence, what really makes us, us, lies in our ability to think, to choose, to act virtuously.
So it's almost like he's asking us what really defines us. Is it our physical body or something, something more, something that lasts longer?
And that's a question that still, resonates with us today, doesn't it?
Totally.
It's a call to kind of examine our priorities.
Right.
To live with intention, knowing that our time is finite.
Okay. So for someone listening right now, dealing with, their own everyday struggles, what's the takeaway? What can they take from this?
I think Marcus Aurelius reminds us that even emperors, right?
Yeah.
They grappled with life's, these big questions, these existential questions.
Totally.
But amidst all that uncertainty, we actually have the power to choose our response.
Yeah.
By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions,
Yeah.
we can actually navigate these challenges
Yeah.
with courage, with reason, and with acceptance.
Wow. Such a powerful message from, a Roman emperor. And it's still relevant today, which I think is amazing.
Infinitely.
It really makes you think, what would Marcus Aurelius think about, our modern world? So much to think about. Thanks for taking us on this deep dive. This has been great.
Yeah, of course. Happy to do it.
Great food for thought for everyone out there as you continue your own, deep dive.
We hold our heads high through the stormy skies. We never say die. Facing every challenge like a stoic knight. With every step forward, we ignite the night. Bounce back from the falls, never showing no fear. In the darkest moments, our minds stay clear. With a heart of iron and a steady aim, we charge through the pain, never seeking fame. Keep it moving, keep it strong. Push it forward all day long. Stoic courage, battle on. Raise your voice and sing this song. From the valleys low to the highest peaks, we conquer the silence even when it speaks. Life's battles rage on, we never shy away. Standing firm in the fray each and every day. Rhythm of resilience pounding in our chest. Fighting every battle, never taking rest. Stoic courage flowing in our veins. Through the joy and through the pains. Keep it moving, keep it strong. Push it forward all day long. Stoic courage, battle on. Raise your voice and sing this song. Keep it moving, keep it strong. Push it forward all day long. Stoic courage, battle on. Raise your voice and sing this song. From the valleys low to the highest peaks, we conquer the silence even when it speaks. Life's battles rage on, we never shy away. Standing firm in the fray each and every day. Rhythm of resilience pounding in our chest. Fighting every battle, never taking rest. Stoic courage flowing in our veins. Through the joy and through the pains. Keep it moving, keep it strong. Push it forward all day long. Stoic courage, battle on. Raise your voice and sing this song.
Right place in your mind. And when you can organize it, you have to organize your mind. And when you have so much noise and distraction, there's no organization in that. So I believe in keeping my circle real small, and those people know what they get from me. And I know what I get from them, and it keeps me going forward, never stagnant. And that's when I started to develop these things through working out. It was this great, never-ending work ethic. And through work ethic, I developed self-esteem. I always equated working out to struggle. And I struggled my whole life, but I ran from it. So I started realizing, man, I gotta start facing the struggle, and I gotta be mentally strong for the struggle. So that's why I started coming up with I'm training for life. Mentally, I'm training for life. I'm not training for I don't care about winning trophies. I don't care about winning anything. All I want to do is go the distance. And I found out on my own pretty much, is that through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition of the same thing that you don't want to do, and that's the key thing. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you develop mental, like an armor for your mind. You start to armor your mind, because your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. That's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it. And that's how I started coming up. I just started being very uncomfortable. And now it's like just a way of life. And I am happy because this is my lifestyle. This is what I want to do. But trying to find your best self, you become unbalanced. And people always talk about this mythical creature called the balance. You want to be balanced. I think balance is a bunch of bullshit. Yes, I really do.
You think for everybody?
Yeah, I think almost for everybody.
Do not let anyone tell you you can't. They're showing you their limits, not yours. Never ruin an apology with an excuse. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Tony Robbins. Stop comparing yourself with those who started 10 years before you. Focus on your own journey. Never leave till tomorrow that which you can do today.
To imagine is to create. Neville Goddard.
Whatsoever doth happen in the world is in the course of nature as usual and ordinary as a rose in the spring and fruit in summer. Of the same nature is sickness and death, slander and lying in wait, and whatsoever else ordinarily doth unto fools use to be occasion either of joy or sorrow, that, whatsoever it is, that comes after, doth always very naturally, and as it were familiarly, follow upon that which was before. For thou must consider the things of the world not as a loose independent number, consisting merely of necessary events, but as a discrete connection of things orderly and harmoniously disposed. There is then to be seen in the things of the world, not a bare succession, but an admirable correspondence and affinity.
And let me tell you something. The men who set a standard are always the ones who are champions. Set a standard, bro. I ain't never smoked a day in my life. All my boys smoke weed. That's my boys. I love them to life. I ain't tripping that they smoke. I just set a standard. My daddy was strung out on crack for 14 years. My uncles died of cirrhosis of the liver. I'm good on alcohol. I'm good on drugs. Why? It don't look like my family know how to handle it. I ain't mad at my boy Bob. He seemed like he know how to do it and get up and go to work. He went to school. He's smoking weed on his way to school. Still doing good on tests. But I had to set a personal standard that we're not doing that. Somebody hit me the other day, E, what you think about weed? Oh, why you asking what I think about E, what you think about? I said, listen to me, bro, I got a standard. He said, E, what's wrong? I love it, young boy. He about 21. E, what's wrong with? E, what's wrong with? E, what's wrong with? I said, bruh, I'm trying to be the next Martin Luther King. When you get to this level, you don't ask what's wrong with. You ask what's right with. I'm a champion. We as a champion, we ain't trying to cut corners. We ain't trying to see how much we can do and still be successful. I got a standard. I want to be the best. And I love Steph Curry. Steph said, making shots in workouts is no longer good enough. Put this down, finish. Write that down, type that to yourself, execute. Put that down, finish, execute. Let me tell you something, they treat people differently who execute. Nobody care what you're doing in practice. They don't got nothing to do with nothing. That don't count. Now, it don't count what you're doing in practice. It don't count. It don't count what you do first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. The most important quarter is the one you like where you won. Write that down. Finish. Effort is not good enough. Ain't nobody paying you for effort. You don't get paid for effort. You don't get paid for trying. Me and my wife went to Dubai because I execute for free. I put up videos every single day. Ain't nobody paying me for the stuff I put up since 2006.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. Never doubt yourself. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. John Wooden. If you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. It is better to make an approximately correct decision than a precise mistake.
When you really want something, and you couple that with an understanding of why it is possible, and your willingness to do whatever it takes to make it happen, you will succeed. Jack Canfield.
In matter of writing or reading, thou must needs be taught before thou can do either, much more in matter of life. For thou art born a mere slave, to thy senses and brutish affections, destitute without teaching of all true knowledge and sound reason.
Right thinking, right words, right feelings, right people, right vision shall be filled.
A friend of mine was on welfare after going through a bad experience. She and her husband became ill. They couldn't work for a while, and they went on welfare. After they both became physically well, he said, look here, we don't ever have to go back to work. We're making more money on welfare than we made when we were working, with all the Medicaid benefits and all of the food stamps and everything. She said, no. She said, we are not going to accept the checks anymore. He said, I'm not going to work. Now, you can go to work if you want to. She went down to the welfare department and said, don't send any more checks to my house. Lady said, excuse me? She said, now I've been working here 25 years. No one has ever come in here and said, don't send any more checks in. Are you sure you're all right? Yes, I am. And she went home and told her husband, don't look for any more checks because I told them to cut the check off. Now we've got to find something to do. And they started a paper route and got over 1,500 customers and were making money hand over fist in a spirit of dignity and achievement, not ripping anybody off. That was a critical choice. She could have very easily said, well, everybody else is doing it. Why don't I do it? But she decided not to follow the crowd. I like what Whitaker said, what you think about me is none of my spiritual business. So when you're keeping integrity with yourself, you know that's going to bring you under a lot of pressure. The next thing is, don't try to cut a bargain with life. Life is not Donald Trump. Life will not give you any special deals because you maintain a sense of integrity. There are no deals. You've got to do what you do because, not with any ulterior motives, that you're going to get some special benefit or some special treatment in the universe. No! Doesn't mean that somebody might not steal your car while you...
It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. John F. Kennedy.
Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and